Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Living in Chicagoland Suburbs. Today we're going to discuss the process of listing your home for sale. As long as you've got a good professional that you're working with and they know the area that you live in and have some experience in the listing and selling of homes. The first and most important thing for you to do is hire a professional. That professional will be a realtor. The value of with your particular location, the suburb that you live in, the subdivision possibly, and choosing that person is paramount to the success of the sale of your home. There are a number of ways to do this. My particular preference is to pick someone that has worked with a friend or a relative, someone that you trust, and they use that particular agent and he or she proved to be sell their home successfully for a nice amount of money and in a short amount of time. Once you've chosen that particular person, maybe I would even suggest that you interview two different people so that for no other reason that to find out whether the pricing that you're envisioning for the sale of your home will indeed be comparable between the two agents that you've interviewed. There are several things that you want to know when you interview this particular person. You want to know what their marketing strategy is. Do they have a schedule of events for you? What sort of websites are they going to advertise your property in? We all will advertise it in the multiple listing service, but it's those additional websites and locations for the promulgation of your home advertisement that is important. Most of the offices that you deal with, I know certainly mine with Baird & Warner, really puts you into literally thousands of different websites that deal with the sale of real estate. Anywhere from the Tribune, which the newspaper is not where we go typically anymore, but the Tribune has its own particular website dealing specifically with real estate. This is a really excellent place to be found because people from out of state, people from New York or San Francisco or Michigan, they're going to go to the local newspaper and go to that website that they have and look for properties listed there. We also put you in the military websites. There are numerous ones for each of the various services, and obviously the Navy would be an excellent source for you because of the presence of Great Lakes and to the north of us. So you want to know that marketing strategy. You want to hear about this agent that you're interviewing. You want to hear about their experience. Have they been selling for long? Obviously, I have been since the 90s, actually. And you want to know that they're familiar in their experience. Have they sold homes in your particular area, in your subdivision or in your town, whatever the case might be. You want to know about that experience. Maybe the most important thing that you're going to want to conclude at the end of your interview is, were you comfortable with this person that you've been dealing with, that you've been talking with? Personable. Are they bringing a certain rapport to your discussions and answering your questions in a special way? That rapport that you feel between yourself and the agent is going to be projected to potential buyers as well, and buyers' agents. So maybe when all is said and done, the deciding factor may come from what sort of rapport you had with that particular person. The other thing that should be paramount in your thinking is, what is the cost to you to put your home on the market? What does the brokerage that you're dealing with, what do they charge by way of commission? They can charge anywhere from 7% to 5% to 4%. What you want to be especially cautious about is discount brokers. The old saying, you get what you pay for, shines real brightly when it comes to the issue of putting your home on the market. Baird & Warner traditionally charges a 6% commission. I represent my sellers. I ask for a commission of 5.5%. Expect that we would keep 3% of that commission in the listing house's brokerage or Baird & Warner's, and the other 3% would be put out for the The buyers, we would receive 3%. The brokerage that brought the buyer to our transaction would receive 2.5%. These are important things for you to know, because find out what you're getting, what you're paying for, and that market strategy and the experience, those are what you get for what you pay for. The next thing you should be doing, maybe even before you have the sit down in, is you may want to take the agent and tour your home with them, both interior and exterior. And as you go through the home, you'll want to call attention to those things that you've done recently. Maybe you've had a new roof put on your home in the last 3 to 4 years, or you've had a whole new heating and air conditioning system put in, a new water heater. You've got all new appliances, stainless steel appliances in the kitchen, for example. So call the agent's attention to these things, and he should be making note of what you say. Also on this tour of your property, your agent or prospective agent should certainly be giving you little tips about staging, how to stage it properly, how to declutter the property, the interior of it, how to depersonalize it, how to arrange the flow of your home so that a prospective buyer, when they come to see it, is not feeling cramped or having a difficult time to get through a room because of tables or chairs all being cluttering the line of traffic up. And your agent should be able to provide for you at that moment the various things that would be helpful in creating a clear for the buyer, and show you how to depersonalize and declutter your particular home. The reason that you declutter it and depersonalize it is you want your prospective buyer to be seeing your home and those things that are in it, not whether or not they can recognize you, a photo of a ski trip to Aspen with your children and grandchildren, etc. So you want to take those photos that demonstrate who you are and what you are. You can take those and start packing them, put them into boxes and put them in the garage. You want to declutter by taking all the stuff off the fridge, the granddaughter's 4th grade drawing exhibition, a number of things that will distract your buyer from seeing the property. We want them to see your stainless steel refrigerator, not the drawings that your granddaughter put on there when she graduated from 8th grade. When you go to the outside, your agent should be providing for you what is going to give curb appeal to your property, so that when the agent and his client drive up to the property itself, they're not shocked by the fact that it needs paint and has needed it for the last 5 years. If indeed that is the case, get it painted. The paint is probably the least expensive thing that you can do to help project your property in the best possible way. The house is to be painted or re-sided. This is something that you should consider very seriously, because into the home, they want to feel comfortable that you have maintained this property properly throughout the years, so they don't have to be thinking, oh boy, I wonder how the air conditioner works. Certainly, if nothing else, your front door needs to have a fresh coat of paint, and if indeed the locks have not been replaced in 25 years, this might be the time to do it. Painting probably gets you the most return for your investment, whether it be an interior room that is electric yellow and you want to paint it to a nice, comfortable gray muted tone. That bathroom that's painted gold and black might be best suited with a fresh coat of light blue paint. To review, you want to get the staging tips done, you want it decluttered, you want it depersonalized, you want the flow to be comfortable, and you want some curb appeal and any repairs that need to be made. If the water has been futzing around and hasn't worked quite right every once in a while, and also very important, have your HVAC guy come out, service the heating element, part of the HVAC, or the air conditioning, depending upon what time of year it is. Get that done so that anybody who comes in will notice that it has been serviced recently, the filters have been changed, etc., etc. Any repairs that you've been putting off, do them now. The dishwasher that doesn't drain properly, either get it repaired or get it replaced. Okay. Now, after you've done the interviews of a couple of different agents, you have to sit down with your partner and determine, once you've made that decision, you contact that agent, tell them that you've selected them. If you have interviewed more than one person, it is a courtesy to call the other agent and tell them that you've elected to go with someone else. Sometimes the agent that you choose can do that for you if it seems to be an uncomfortable or unpleasant experience that you might be facing. Next issue is to sign a listing agreement. When you sign that listing agreement, you will also be given several disclosures: a home disclosure, a radon disclosure, a lead-based paint disclosure, etc. These disclosures are very important to the property sale, because if you know that there is a material defect, there's a leak in the roof that shows up in the heavy rainstorms in your attic, if there is a leak in the foundation, a crack that was maybe not repaired, and the drywall in that particular corner or whatever begins to get damp and the carpeting in that area gets wet as well, this is something that you must disclose. You would be wise to have these things repaired, and then when you disclose them, you can say, on such and such a date we had the repairs done and the leak is no longer in existence. So you sign the listing agreement, and in that listing agreement you'll find that it spells out very specifically what the commission structure is. It spells out who gets what brokerage percentage of the total commission agreement that you made with your designated agent, and it also addresses things like the Fair Housing Act. You have to respond to that. You do not want dual agency. I ask you to just check that off. If someone comes to me and wants to see the home, maybe at an open house or whatever, I will typically hand that agent the photography of the interior and exterior of the home. These are photos that will go into the multiple listing service, and we want them to show your home in the best possible light. That is why Baird & Warner only uses professional photographers. We don't take our own photos with our phone or any other device. We bring in a professional photographer. Once the photos are done and the photos are entered into the multiple listing service, and you go, as we say, live in the MLS, the next step is to have a broker's tour. And recently, especially since the COVID adventures that we've had, we don't do a lot of broker's tour anymore. I remember when I started in this business back in the 90s, all the agents in our office would hop into a van or two and go to see the various properties that have just been put on the market, and they're offering a broker's tour. And we get to see the property early on in the listing process. And if we've got a buyer in that particular price range or in that particular location, the broker's tours were very important to us. Now, because of the extensive photography that we're doing, sometimes complete videos of the property, the broker's tour has lost its former glow. Sometimes it's not done. I would use a broker's tour, especially if I had a high-end property, a large property, maybe 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 square feet, or the best experience for an agent who wants to see what it looks like. Hi, it's me again, stepping in to advise you that this is the end of part 1, and to invite you to stay tuned for part 2 of this session, dropping in the next day or two on this channel. Ta-ta for now.